how are we feeling about this matchup? I suppose if you're Sweden, you may not be feeling too great about it, but if you're France, Tony, are you thinking that this is a favourable third-place finisher that you could face, or not so much?
I think everyone's favorable for them.
Yeah.
It's a European it's a European team with a lot of guys that are playing at big clubs, right? Isak and Gyökeres, and Ilanga has now two goals in 2 games now. Ayari's been a bit of a surprise in that midfield, right? The kid who I believe was born in Tunisia, right? Scored against Tunisia. They were good in that game, 5-1, and then a little bit of a reality check against the Netherlands, who I should have put in that conversation we were having in the last segment too, because I think they look really good. They got waxed by the Netherlands 5-1, and Japan last night and Sweden, they look like they understood the mission, I'll say, right?
Yeah.
1-1 was a good enough result, and the game was played between the two 18-yard boxes, but you're not going to have anybody in this Swedish side that's going to be in awe of France, right? It's not these guys playing top European leagues, but I clearly France is a better side. Yeah.
Yeah, the French are saying bonjour when they see that Sweden draw, because I just don't think that
You're
they're going to have a
obsessed with
chance.
Now
France
he's
today.
sucking up to the French.
I'm just saying, hey, bonjour. You know, I could say it in German as well.
Can you say anything else in French?
I could say other words, but I'll get fired if I say other words.
Any words that you can say?
Oui.
Très bien. No, I think if you're France, any team, like Tony said, you're just looking forward to playing again. It seems like this team is having so much joy on the pitch. You're having a variety of players score, step up at the right times. The bench is stacked. Everyone's hungry to go and play. And I think Sweden, what you see is what you get with their starting 11. Unless Alenga's coming off of the bench, I think he's been the best attacker for them, at least in front of scoring goals. But it's a tough road for Sweden to go into this round and have to play France. They have to play the perfect game in order to not allow them to score goals.
And just to add to Darian's point, my biggest concern for Sweden is defensively they don't look good enough. In both games that they've played, you cannot have a defense that doesn't look confident and secure enough to keep you in a game when you talk about facing the world's best attacking force right now.
They're not organized enough as well.
Yeah.
They may have lost their center back in Hien, who we see at Atalanta every week in Serie A. Came off last night, looked like he was pretty injured. They had to sub him in, so that also doesn't look good for Sweden.
Yeah.
So true. It's going to be a heavily favoured match in favour of France, as we know. For more, let's welcome in our Buckets with the best bet for this game. Buckets, how do you find the value in a game like this?
I can appreciate and respect how proper you guys are when talking about how, you're being pretty polite towards Sweden. Maybe if they play perfect, no, it's not even going to be close. Let's be realistic here. France are going to roll over them. This Swedish backline doesn't stand a prayer of a chance. I feel like France could play their backup 11 and they're still winning this game against Sweden by at least 2 goals. We don't have any lines available yet. I will say, just do what's been working for France. Take Dembélé to score or assist. Take Mbappe to score or assist. Take France to score early in the matchup, because this is a team that when they are deciding to play on that second or third gear, they're not going to slow play this. They're not going to build up play and kind of tire you. They're going to go for the throat right away. I've got France winning this matchup, regardless of who they play, Sweden or Egypt or New Zealand, whoever it ends up being, they're winning this game by a minimum of 3 goals here.
Is there anything in it for both teams to score in this one, or is it just that lopsided for you in this match?
I do like both teams to score. We don't know the lines yet, so I'd like for that to be closer to the even money plus 100. Sweden, their best part is their attack. So if you want to see Gyökeres to score, assist, or Isak or Ilanga, there's going to be value there for something to get done, because we saw this with Norway. I know it's a group stage game against backups. They didn't really care as much, but if they took their foot off the gas for a second, their opponents can capitalize this, and they have still been conceding goals. So both teams to score will probably be a good shout here, Tony.
Buckish, what about just an outside bet here for the Ballon d'Or? We were just talking about potentially Ousmane Dembélé being one of the favourites again. Is it a good time to bet now? Is that even a possible thing to do?
It's not possible currently for the legal books in the U.S. Maybe if you want to go off grid a little bit, I'm not saying do that. I don't know how, just saying it's a possibility. But right now in your major sports books in the U.S., I don't even know what you're talking about. I couldn't fathom going. No, I'd be careful. If you can find lines, though, Dembele is where I'd put my money.
You'd put your money on Dembele?
I would, yeah. I think he's going to continue to have an incredible World Cup here.
Who would you say would be close second then, if it was just talking about the Ballon d'Or looking ahead now?
Take my bias out of it because I'm going to want to say Michael Elise no matter what. But if France win, if France win, it's going to be Dembélé, in my opinion. If Spain end up winning, then you've got a different conversation with maybe a Yamal shout, depending on how he finishes this out.
Sure, good point.
Okay, brilliant stuff, Buckets. Thanks so much. We'll be back with you in just a second. We're just going to take a look, though, at the meetings between France and Sweden and how they've kind of compared in the past, just in this World Cup, actually, between the two sides. Obviously, we mentioned for Sweden, it's been a complete mixed bag. I mean, Tones, if you're playing for Sweden, you won 5-1, you lost 5-1, you've been a bit all over the place, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been a little Jekyll and Hyde, right? And I think we thought in that first game, we saw, you know, Sweden that came to the World Cup and would compete, and then, like you said, they got drubbed by the Netherlands. It was incredible. They get picked apart. It was so easy, and I respect the Netherlands, and I like that team. I think they're really good, and Graham Potter here, as we're seeing, it's a guy that, if we've learned one thing about him through his club adventures through Brighton and then Chelsea, he likes to put the ball on the deck and play. I just don't know that you can do that against this team, right? You might have to be a little bit more direct. Keep the ball in France's half as long as you can, right? So you got two horses up top. The one thing Sweden does have is Isak, right? And I still think he's an exceptional player. Had the start of the season issues with the transfer before he makes the move, and then the injury and all of that stuff kind of slowed him down. But he looks like he's up for it in this World Cup. Gyökeres is always a guy that's going to fight all the time, can scrap a goal. But yeah, I don't know. I'd like to, I'm not trying to hammer the Swedes here. I'd like to give them a chance somehow, but I just don't see it. I don't see how they're going to win this one.
Tell the truth, Tone.
I think maybe they'll score a goal. I don't think they're going to have a clean sheet by any means. I think they'll be far outscored by this French side. It's tough to make a case defensively. You made such a good point. Each game I've watched, especially the 5-1 loss after the 5-1 win, it was almost as if just the fundamentals of defending went out the window as a team.
Yeah.
And when you're going against teams that aren't France and you're conceding that much, that's scary. And then you're going to play France.
Let's also add the pressure of its knockout stages. Like these guys now with the history and the experience they have in this competition, they know now this is the real business end. First business has been taken care of, which is making it to this round. Now there's an extra level of pressure now. You can't be making those type of mistakes against top-line opposition now, because now we're going to see the French team know every game they have to put their foot on the gas. And I think with Sweden, I understand what you're saying. I like Isak. Gyökeres, going to fight, going to scrap. But this game's going to come down to quality now, because when you get those one or two moments against France, if they go sleeping defensively, you have to put it in the back of the net. I can't put my money on Gyökeres doing that. I could say maybe Isak, yes, can make that happen. But again, is this Swedish team now too heavily reliant on Isak? Is he going to have to do way too much work than just his work in the top end of the pitch?
Yes, he's going to have to do a lot of work.
That's a problem. And then you've got to look at the opposition that they're facing against.